Well, hello and welcome back to the Spain's Sports Arena in Novi Sad in the north of Serbia on day 2 of the Men's European Handball Championships. Well, earlier today, Spain beat the defending champions France 29-26, but coming up next, it's Russia against Hungary, and this, the toughest of the groups at the European Championships. It was a superb opening game for Spain, 1 goal in it only with 30 seconds to go, and then Spain scored from a free throw, and then France pushing to try and get back into it, gave away a fast break. The referees for today there, Nenad Nikolic and Dusan Stojkovic, are from Serbia, so a little bit of home interest in this game. And Russia, who have been twice champions of Europe, 1996 and 2001. There is the Russian team, that's Oleg Grams in it, and Kokcharov just with his tracksuit top still on. Well, European Championships 2010, 12th place for Russia, slightly on the decline. They then failed to qualify for the World Championships in 2011, losing out to Romania in their playoff game. A real shock there, having won in Romania. They lost in Moscow by on the away goals rule. It was that close. So a little bit of a rehabilitation here under their coach Vladimir Maximov. Thirteen of the 16 Russian players come from the same club, Tchaikovsky Medvedi, the perennial Russian champions. And of course they've got a long history of success, the Russians, world champions in 1997, 2001, Olympic champions in 2000. But I'm afraid since then, success has eluded them. They were 6th at the last Olympic Games, hoping to make amends here and break back in on the scene, but they are in one of the toughest groups. France and Spain, two of the favourites for this tournament, who played each other earlier. Honours going to Spain. And then Hungary.
The national team of Hungary.
So we shall now have the national anthems, starting with Hungary. Well, one of the more stirring anthems around there for Hungary. And now we shall have the national anthem of Russia. Well, these two teams haven't met for a little while, and this is going to be a real clash. Big teams there. Russia, of course, going through a little bit of a low spell at the moment, but looking to try and pick things up. So for Hungary, look out for the Ivanchik brothers. Gergo on the left wing, Tamas on the right wing, but Gabor Chazar, the left back, who plays for Veszprém but used to play in Denmark for Viborg, will be fairly critical here to the game, and they'll be hoping that the goalkeeper Fazekas is on form. And here is Ferenc Ilyes, 30 years of age, 155 caps, 425 goals. He plays for Veszprém as well, the Hungarian champions. He's been to 3 World Championships, very experienced, and 2 Europeans. For Russia, well, Alexei Rasbortsev has scored 886 goals in 231 internationals, the left back. But look out also for the line player Mikhail Chipurin, number 20, and the captain Eduard Kocharov. But Igor Poulot is getting the attention here. He's one of only 2 exiles in the team. He plays for Barcelona at right back, 434 goals, but in just 89 appearances. And there is Lajos Moksai, long-time coach of the Hungarian team. And they've not had success too much recently. The best result of recent years, 6th place at the 2009 World Championships. Well, for Vladimir Maximov, well, he's been there for a long time as well. A European Championship win, a World Championship title, an Olympic title. He's been there. There is Oleg Grams, 27 years of age, 85 caps, one of the 13 players who plays for the Russian champions, Tchaikovsky. And so Hungary in the all-white strip throw off the match, playing from right to left. Russia in the all-red strip start off with a 5-1 defence. The captain, Eduard Kocharov, the 36-year-old left winger, at the front to try and disrupt the build-up by Hungary. Kocharov, who was a long-time exile from the national team, but coming back into the frame now. Kocharov, who has scored an amazing 1,100 goals in 220 internationals for his country. Hard to fathom out how he could be exiled or left out by his team for a couple of years, but there you go. Good solid defence by Igor Poulot early on there, latching on the 26-year-old Spanish-based right back. Ivanchik's gone in on the line, trying to put a bit of pressure on. Arm held by Kocharov, that'll be a free throw. Kind warning there from the referees from Serbia. Passive play being warned now against the Hungarians. A rather telegraphed long-range effort and a comfortable save for Oleg Grams. And not a lot of teeth on that first attack by Hungary, just trying to find their range. It's early days. The opening game was certainly something to behold, though. France-Spain, clash of the Titans, going Spain's way in the end, 29-26. They stayed more composed. The French shooting simply wasn't up to scratch in that one. Hombrados having an amazing day in goal. Trying to break through. Is that a penalty? It's a free throw only. Foul against Rasbortsev, 2 meters tall left back, score of 886 goals. Igor Poulot, quick switch back again. Igor Poulot is a fast player with a very tough shot. Kocharov makes the mistake, but it's a double dribble. He fumbled the ball on his 3rd step and then picked it up again while he was still in the air. And back come Hungary. Ferenc Ilyes at the left back position. There'll be a quick switch now to get Chazar, I'm sure, back into the playmaker's position as Gergo Ivanchik moves across, and Chazar is there. Number 5, 27 years of age. Played in Denmark for a little while, hugely experienced, 3 World Championships and a couple of European Championships under his belt. Little handoff all the way around for Ilyes. Oh, superb! Tamas Moksai, the right back, just saw the gap long enough to let rip with a long-range effort. Right over the head. That's rearranged the parting on Grams' head. So for Russia, it's Vitaly Ivanov who starts in the centre. Quick switch over, and we've got friendly warning once more. Some holding going on the line. Cherno Ivanov He's a mountain of a man, 2 meters and 3 rather than 108 kilos. Not someone you want to bump into in a dark alleyway on a dark night. Igropoulou. Ivanov has gone in on the line, but he's some shoving going on by Cherno Ivanov, trying to create space for himself, and it's given a free throw to Hungary. Lots of lateral moves by Russia, crossovers and so on, but it's all sideways. And so Chazar goes back into his centre position as Ferenc Ilyes, the 30-year-old, slips into left back. Lajos Moksai, who also coaches the Veszprém team, trying to get as many of his players here as possible, and that's another goal! The crowd cheer it, a mistake by the keeper, and Chazar, the playmaker, makes it 2-0. Well, Graham's got his foot to it, but it bounced straight up onto his face, and a quick break, 3-0. Fantastic start. And it's Gergo Ivanchik, the older of the two brothers. Great pass down the court. Well, if you don't pay attention quick enough, you're going to be hit. The two Ivanchik brothers who come from a long tradition of handball players in their family. Nice little switch. Rasvortsev. Little shimmy and goes around. And with 4 minutes and 45 seconds gone, finally Russia get themselves on the score sheet. And on the line, it's Szabolcs Zubai. He doesn't play, as it happens, for Veszprém. He plays for their arch rivals, Pikzeged. Nearly intercepted, back again, Ilyes. Oh, lovely pass into the wing. Well, a lovely goal by Gergo Ivanchik, that's his second. But what a pass into him. That was sublime, look at this. Ilyes round his back. And Moksai leans over. It's almost like a bowling ball going down the lane, isn't it? You kind of lean over, say, is it going to go in? Yeah, it is. Little handoff. They're having to come out really early because the Russians are so much bigger than Hungary. They're pushing up, they're trying to catch them at the 9-meter line before they get any momentum. It's hard work, but it's the only way you're going to do it. Igropoulou threatens the shot. And a yellow card for Ilyes, the Hungarian left back. Let's have a look at the incident again. And a little shove being spotted by the Serbian referees. Ivanov, Igropoulou dummies the shot again. There's no one to pass to though. They're a bit static on the left side. Igropoulou having a bit of an argument now with Cherno Ivanov in his positioning. He wants him to come across. Perhaps a dynamo he is, Igropoulou. The ball's out quickly. Oh, great handling again. And Gergo Ivanchik makes it 3 goals already inside 7 minutes. But what fantastic team play by Hungary. 1, 2, 3 passes and straight down the court. Well, Hungarians know that if there's one match that they've got to try and win if they want to go through to the main round, this is it. Only 3 teams from each of the 4 groups of 4 will go through, and a 2-minute suspension now for Ilyes. He was already on a yellow card and no other choice or recourse left to the Serbian referees. But in this, the toughest of the groups, this is a crucial match for these 2 teams, I think anyway. I still believe that France and Spain are going to prove to be the biggest challengers, and therefore the winner of this game could well be the 3rd team to go through from this group. Of course, you just never know how things are going to pan out later on, and it just takes France or Spain to misfire as the tournament goes on, and it could change the dynamics completely. They pull another one back, courtesy of Vitaly Ivanov. Again, one of the Tchaikovsky players. 231 caps, 518 goals for Russia in that time. But it's not had a huge success, the Russian team over the years, which is a shame in some respects, because the national team is effectively the club side Tchaikovsky Medvedi, who play in Moscow. You'd think spending so much time training together, the understanding between you would be absolutely perfect, but the problem for them to some extent is that the league is simply not challenging them enough at home. Oh, they've stolen the ball. Straight off, superbly done under a lot of pressure, and that's going to be another 2-minute suspension for Hungary. Kokcharov hobbles back up again. Under a lot of pressure, the 36-year-old there. The ball, I think that's fairly done. Cornel Nodge tried to tap the ball away, just couldn't quite do it. Little shove in the back maybe is what upset the referees. And so a double suspension for Hungary, and surely now Russia can work the gap down. The referees won't allow the Hungarians to waste too much of the clock here. When you're 4 against 6, you've got to get on an attack or the hand will go up. And Kokcharov staying very close to Chazar. Oh, well, 4 against 6 and Hungary have scored. And Gergo Ivanchik embarrasses the Russians. He scored the last 4 goals for Hungary. A very closed angle, and Oleg Grams, the goalkeeper, will be annoyed with himself, straight over his head. And no surprise that they can score around the outside. Dmitry Kovalyev with a huge angle, only 4 defenders, pulled in every direction. Free throw, and that's what they want. Run the clock down as much as you can. They've got 1 player back at least, Hungary now. It's 5 against 6 court players. Tries to go through again. A lot of spin on the ball. It's gone towards the goal. Foul by Chipurin, the line player, who's being used as defence only at the moment. He's a prolific goal scorer, 378 goals in 141 appearances, so he will be there or thereabouts soon. Free throw, and that's great play by Gabor Chazar. Chipurin knows he's trying to run the clock down, and Chazar's won that particular battle. That's another 7 or 8 seconds gone, and Hungary just about back to full strength again now. Well, the ball goes out of play. Little lapse of attention there. Zhubai just putting it over the head of the winger, Tamas Ivanchik. So Igropulo in on the attack now, and they've changed line player. Rasvortsev, who was Cherno Ivanov, I beg your pardon, who was struggling to connect with Igropulo, has gone off, and Cherno, and immediately it pays off. Chipurin scores. Inspired switch there as he beats Ferenc Fazekas, the Hungarian keeper, and Russia back to within 1. Well, the crowd here urging on the Hungarians. A huge contingent of supporters have made the relatively short journey south. Little shove in the back. Oof. And another flash of the hand there by Cherno Ivanov, the line player being used in defence. And who wouldn't? 2 meters and 108 kilos. It's an immovable object in the middle of the defence, will always help. What a cracking shot. Well, you can't look more excited than that. That was rather special. Chazar. Second goal for the playmaker. I think it was just a blur to Grams in goal. So Chipurin waits on the far side. He'll come across when the ball's coming back again. Turns quickly, but that's an attacker's foul. Clumsily ran straight into the defender, rather turned into them. And the ball's given away by the Russian line player. Free throw for Ferenc Ilyes, trying to find a gap, but just prevented as he was going through. That's not the player who just went through, I don't think, unless I'm much mistaken. There he is, Ilyes. Might even have wondered if he'd have got more. Looks up to the referee. Maybe a 7 metre. Thank you very much indeed. Arm taken, and that's what Mokshay seems to be thinking as well. Look at the spectators there. Great support for the Hungarians, and they need every bit of it. They were the I think as dismayed as everybody else in this group when the draw was done and all these nations came out one after the other, the top seeds in each of the pots coming into one group. Great goal though by Tamas Moksai, his second. And Hungary keep the initiative here. Both teams know that this is a crucial game. Opening game in the competition. I'm afraid you've got to hit the ground running here. Change of playmaker for Russia. Atman has come in. Tries to find Chipurin, who couldn't do anything with it. Oh, the gap's enormous. And Ilyich just helps himself to that. The crowd roar their approval. 3 goals on the trot now for Hungary. Not much that Oleg Grams could do about that. Igropulo. Oh, great shot. Rasvortsev is second. Goes around, and they allowed him to get much too close to the goal, and within comfortable firing range for the 2 meters tall left back. Already 886 goals for Russia. Chazar pushing back under pressure now as Russia have moved in. Dibirov into the center. Grams picks the ball up. The break is on. Atman is the playmaker in the middle. Lovely. Igropulo this time does connect with Cherno Ivanov. Coming up from defence, times it perfectly to go in behind. Ilyich, yes! Such a quick arm. Just on the inside post. Second goal for him. Be happy with that. 83% success rate on their shooting for Hungary, 70% only for Russia, and change once more for Russia. Sergei Shelmenko comes in, relative newcomer to the Russian team. Bit of a journeyman, but a mistake there by the playmaker Atman, and away go Hungary, and that's going to be a penalty and a 2-minute suspension. Very, very short play by Shelmenko. He's only been on court less than a minute. There's the long pass down. Ivanchik. Well, runs straight into his path. So Shelmenko gets an enforced break. First suspension of the game for Russia. Well, they're happy. Thank you very much indeed. We're leading 10-7. We've got a power play coming up, and it's a penalty. What more could you want? 8,000 spectators in this arena, which will also be one of the 2 venues in the main round, together with the Pionir Arena in Belgrade. That is up until the semi-finals, finals, when they move to the Belgrade Arena. Subtle as anything. That was absolutely beautiful. Tamas Moksai, broken wrist shot, looks like it's going to be a hard one, but at the last second tips his wrist back, and the ball rolls over the top of the goalkeeper. (11-7), and it's a power play for Hungary. We're midway through the first half, and Russia just can't quite find their rhythm here. The defence is working well, they're hitting them early. Well, I was just saying that. They don't there, and that's why they're going to pay the price if they don't. Igropulo gets his first. Saw sight of the goal. No one came out to him this time. And I think deep down, Zhubai knows he should have been the man there. So short-handed they score. Oh, superb. Beautiful play on the line, and Zhubai makes up for his earlier mistake, and another 2-minute suspension for Russia. Well, in fact, it's Angshin. I do beg your pardon, is it? No, it is Zhubai who has scored, and there's Chipurin taking an enforced break, and it's a double suspension, as it was earlier for Hungary, and they can move up in defence now. Igropulo being individually marked. well, being played at a cracking pace here. We've had 20 goals in 16 minutes, and a quick apology from Zhubai there, who caught Cherno Ivanov as Chipurin pleads his innocence on the bench, and a team timeout has been called by Vladimir Maximov. Well, a great start by Hungary at the moment. Defensively, they're playing it very well. They know the Russians are a bigger team. They're hitting them at 9 meters. They're stopping them on the run-in, and they've tried a few combinations at the back. They're swapping around a lot, but they just can't quite get the solution. Filipov has been there, Atman has been there, Ivanov, it's just not firing up. Shalmenko came in for Igropoulou briefly, but got instantly sent off for a 2-minute suspension. Rasvortsev up to some point is finding some space to get his shots in, but he's really having to work hard for that. And it means that in goal, Fazekas has been very well protected in the Hungarian goal. Meanwhile, for the Hungarians, well, great understanding at the back, and they're playing things very quickly. The fast break earlier, 3 quick passes down the court, or that last goal by Zhubai on the line where the ball barely touched his hand. He was already diving for the shot before the ball landed in his hand. He was impeccable positioning of the ball into the line player. Lajos Moksai, you wouldn't know that he's the one leading here by 4 goals as he gets excited. That's a replay of the Hungarian timeout as Russia prepared to throw off again. In a match absolutely critical for them. 4 against 6 court players at the moment. They've got to capitalise on this while they can. Turn the tables on the Russians here, who had a double power play earlier on. Dibirov has come into the frame now. Long range shot, it goes wide. Fazekas puts it into play. Well, Igropoulou has got a hard shot, but you've got to get the direction on it as well. That was very unwise. Why did he take that shot? It was an opportunist long range shot. Moksai is so experienced, 134 caps, the right back, but he should have waited longer and built up. And instead now Russia can probably run the clock down at least on one of their suspensions. So 5 against 6 now at least. They leave out the right wing for the moment. Atman is the playmaker, not really having a good understanding with Rasvortsev. He keeps on running off to the right behind him as Rasvortsev looking to pass the ball back to his left. Igropoulou, defense is moving deep. Now they've got to go back a bit because Cherno Ivanov's gone in. Shot taken but deflected by the defense and picked up by Gergo Ivanchik. They still have 25 seconds of a power play left as Shazar comes back into the play in the centre. Iliesh at the left back. And Moksai right across the court. Oh, clever play. Grams came out, 2 meters and 1. He's not exactly easy to lob, but Gergo Ivanchik does it beautifully. 5th goal for him. In fact, 5 from 5, and it's a 5-goal lead as well as Russia get back to full strength. And they've got to start doing some work here to get this situation sorted out. This could well be the match that decides which of these 2 teams doesn't go through with France and Spain, but that's saying a lot. That's a penalty, defending inside the area. I'm probably being disingenuous to both of these because none of these teams are going to be easy in this group. Shalmenko gets the ball. It would have been an attacker's foul were it not for the fact that Ivanchik was standing inside the area already at the point of impact. There's Fazekas, 35-year-old veteran of 190 internationals. He's up against Igropoulou. Oh, comfortable penalty for Igropoulou. Fazekas commits himself too early, lifts one leg, and the moment he does that, then for the penalty taker, you just bounce the ball next to the standing leg. Second goal that was for Igropoulou. Still a 4-goal lead for Hungary, and the defence very, very deep now by Russia. Even Atman is coming a long way out. It's slightly dangerous, a 4-2 defence, looking to pass in to the line, misunderstanding though, and it's intercepted. Russia coming back quickly now. Shalmenko tries to drive in Atman. It's got to go quickly to the wing. Off the post and picked up by the Hungarians. Now the break is on for them. Zhubai. Iliesh runs to the centre, finds the line. Zhubai, superb. And they're playing it so quick at the moment, Hungary. They know they've got to do that to break down this huge defence. He didn't even pass the ball, he just bounced it straight away. Mokshay says, you're the man. Zubai's second goal. 112 caps, the peak Szeged line player. 168 goals, not enormous, but he's coming good here today. Oh, defence just fell apart this time, that was a mistake. Nicely done though by Shelmenko, who saw the opportunity, not picked up the first time. There he is. And unfortunately, Lalushka had just moved out, and the gap was there for him to exploit and go in behind. 4 goals in it. It's got to be a free throw. And Alexei Rasvortsev, 33-year-old left back, saying I was a little bit unnecessary, that dive. Hard, yes, but no, nothing wrong with that, he says. Well, Hungary built up here with a win over Slovakia 10 days ago. Then they played Germany twice, 1-1, lost 1 in Germany, and then just a little bit of a warming down effort against Bahrain. They won that 34-24 at home. Just a little bit of a confidence booster there at the end before you head off to Serbia. Atman into the wing. Closed angle. Oh, the spin is on. It just stayed in. Dibirov. Such an exciting player he is. With elastic hands, I think, and slowly they're closing the goal again. 5-goal lead evaporating very slowly. Russia, for their part, well, they played in a Four Nations tournament at home, beating Belarus and Austria. Then they drew with Poland, 29-all, and then fitted in last week a couple of friendlies against Sweden, 1-1 and lost 1 in Sweden. No major injury problems for the Russians. For Hungary, well, they've missed out on Mate Lekai, playmaker they'd hoped to bring with them, who had a knee injury, didn't heal in time. But when you got someone of the quality of Chazar to play in the middle, why are you worried? And Iliesh finds the back of the net again. Smiles on the bench, thank you very much indeed. Well, the relief on Cornel Nodge's face. 15-11 to Hungary. And Russia hit back. Atman, his first. Breaks through, and the defense beginning to show a few gaps here and there that the Russians are exploiting. Atman, a relative newcomer in the team. 26 caps, 20 goals. He's the other exile other than Igropoulou. He plays in Belarus for Dynamo Minsk. Otherwise, it's pretty much an all Tchaikovsky-Medvedi team, other than Bogdanov, the second goalkeeper, who plays for Neva St. Petersburg. That'll be a free throw. Nodge in the attack now in the centre. The French-based at left back just now. Shot efficiency, 79, still better for the Hungarians. Beautifully done, the gap in the middle. And Zubai is having a fantastic match here. Third goal for him. Well, a little build-up, and once more Atman is finding the space. He's taking a little time warming up, but it's the defence sitting back which is paying the price. They started really well, very mobile. It's hard to maintain through the whole game, this fast, mobile defence, but they've got to do it. So Chazar comes around. Nodge goes in on the line. Nodge, who, not to be confused with his namesake, Laszlo Nodge, of course, one of the great back players for Hungary, who's not being used by the team at the moment. Saved there by Grams, and the ball stays out. Laszlo Nagy, who... and again, the defence is just falling asleep here for Hungary. After being really focused for so long, Dibirov runs in behind, there's no one with him. And the gap closing. And a team timeout called by Lajos Moksai. The 5-goal lead has now become just 2 goals. So he's just got to somehow start them up again. The main thing for them at the moment is the defence. They're not falling back quickly enough. And that movement they had earlier where they were really working well together and hitting them at 9 metres isn't there. And they're allowing the ball to get in behind them. And that's where the problem is. But as I was mentioning, Laszlo Nagy, there's some interesting rumours going around. The right back in his 30s now, who plays in Spain, that he may be looking to take on Spanish nationality. He'd have to serve a 3-year exile from his previous nation from playing for Hungary. Maybe that's at the heart of it, that he's made himself unavailable with that particular intention in mind in the long term. We'll have to wait and see. But he's a big loss, the right back for Hungary. Well, very, very calm Vladimir Maximov. Somewhat he knows that they're broadly on the right track. That's a replay of the Russian timeout as play resumes here after Hungary's team timeout. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. They're still leading 16-14, but at the moment the Russians are beginning to look ominous here. They're getting into gear, they're finding the gaps at the back, and they're hitting the Hungarians on the break every time they fail to score. And the shooting efficiency for the Hungarians is slipping somewhat. The ball's on again. Atman looks for options. Dibirov too closely marked. Kovalyev was trying to get free as well, but couldn't. Atman stays in on the line for the moment. Shelmenko, that's blocked by Fazekas. Inside the area, say the referees. Throws taken. Ivanchik looks down the court as well. The other brother receives the ball now. Moksai fouled, and it'll be a free throw. Atman happy to do that and let the rest of the team settle back in defence as Dibirov takes his place at the front of the defence, and we've got 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Very deep 5-1 defence that Dibirov in particular likes playing, harassing the other team, looking to intercept the ball, and that's got to be a yellow card. Moksai pulled to the ground as he tried to drive towards the centre. Rather clumsy effort. And Lajos Moksai more concerned with the fact that the ball needed to come across to the left-hand side instead of just being driven in. So 4.5 minutes remaining. The Hungarian supporters still in good voice here. Both teams had to go through qualifying rounds. Oh, great play. Well, no one called the winger. And Gergo Ivanchik just ran around. And instead of getting one of the other defenders to back into the line, his defender followed him all the way around. And 6 from 6. Very economical. Oh, Dibirov, that was superb. Took the ball, had to do a very quick change of direction. Third goal for Dibirov, but look at that. Turns with his shooting arm on the inside to go back again, and Ivanov jumps to his feet. He too very economical, hasn't missed any of his shots. .32 goals then inside the first 26 minutes. Deflected away. Bogdanov, 25-year-old, a newcomer to the team, who's replaced Grams in goal. He's only played 7 times for Russia. I think with Grams looking a little out of sorts in goal, not too many choices there for Maximov. So Shelmenko at the right back position, Igropoulou having a bit of a break. Atman to the line, beautifully done and scored by Chipurin. Just a little bit of a broken wrist effort about it, just slightly curve the ball and take the speed off it. 2.5 minutes remaining, just one goal in it now. Russia surely but steadily closing the gap, but that will certainly help. Coming in from the right hand side, Moksai. Free throw as Chipurin makes his way back on court again. Third goal for Moksai, that was incidentally, to make it 18-16. Atman, Rasbortsev. Atman trying to get the ball across to Shelmenko, but absolutely decked in the centre by Nodge, who tries to look as innocent as he can, the French-based player, plays for Dunkerque. And the referees give him the benefit of the doubt. Atman looks none the worse for it. Certainly seems that even some of the neutral supporters in the crowd are supporting the Hungarians. So we're inside the last 2 minutes before the half-time break. Chipurin tries to get free. He's being very closely marked. Rasvortsev, they've got to catch him early. Ball stolen. And we've got a 2-minute suspension for Iliesh, who looks absolutely dumbstruck by the decision. And that's a blow for Hungary. That's his second one. Let's see this again. He's there. And a shove in the back. And he's already on a yellow card, so they had to give it as a 2-minute suspension. It was very clumsy by him and somewhat unnecessary. The pass did seem to be beyond that man's reach anyway. With the defender standing right there, he'd sooner or later run into the other defender. And now it's a power play situation that's going to straddle the half-time break. And they paid the price instantly as the defence sits back. Moksai looks on as Rasvortsev hammers one into the back of the net. A giant of a back player. Once more gets Russia within one. So the Hungarians need to make this a good long attack if they can now. Looks back again, not much chance there. Moksai tries to come in. No way through for Chazar either. Chazar again. Yes. Bogdanov a bit slow there. Jumps the defence standing back off him, and Cherno Ivanov should have pushed up sooner. Third goal for Chazar. And we're inside the last minute. Russia with a power play situation, trailed by 2. And the official at the table, Yeni Konecki, the Czech Republic, has called over the referees. Not sure if it's a problem with the clock. Hopefully for one of the teams that is the problem. You're always worried when that happens and it's been a faulty substitution, which is automatically a 2-minute suspension. I think it is just a technical issue being resolved. Well, Russia qualified for these European Championships in Group 7. They had to go through pre-qualifying tournaments. They finished second behind Denmark, but ahead of Belarus and Switzerland, while Hungary were top of Group 1, ahead of Macedonia, Estonia and Bosnia, the top 2 teams in each of those groups going through to the European Championships. There was some pre-qualifying before that as well. The referee still at the table looking up to the clock. Yeah, it's a very nice hat. It'll never catch on though. Well, the Hungarian supporters coming in all shapes, sizes and colours. And these always anxious moments. It's unfortunate this happened so close to the end of the first half. Chipurin there, what a great play. He's a 31-year-old from Tchaikovsky. 2 Olympic Games, 2 World Championships and a European Championship under his belt already. 8,000-seater arena this, which will be the venue for the main round. It will host the group, or merger of the group between C and D. So this group and the group that features Croatia, Norway, Iceland and Slovenia. Here are the stats then from the first half so far. 70% scoring rate for Hungary and 61 for Russia, improving slightly, but not much in it. 50 seconds remaining then to the half-time break. Russia with a power play, and now's the time when Hungary have to go up. Push right up, hit them early, don't let Rasvortsev get in, and they've pushed all up. And no one stayed back, and Chipurin scores his third goal. Well, now the Hungarians have got to make this a very long attack. They've got to help him. Someone's got to come across. Moksai can't stay quite as wide. Oh, tries the long-range effort. It's saved by Bogdanov, and back come Russia now. Chance to level it with about 7 seconds remaining. The wing's free. Didn't need it. And they are all square. Rasvortsev. And there goes the buzzer, and this is the equalising goal. They got back too late, and he's simply too big a player to try and catch at the 6-metre line. You've got to stop him before he gets the momentum going. And Rasvortsev makes it 19-all at the half-time break. 38 goals in the opening half. It's been quite something, and the Hungarians' good work. They had up to a 5-goal lead, washed away here by the pace and the strength of the Russian attack, which has taken a while to get going. But Kokcharov's men are up and running now, and that's ominous for the supporters team. Hungary looking a little bit more ragged in defence. They've lost their composure and they're not pushing up anymore. It is tiring, but unless you do it against the Russians, they will exploit it time and again. And here is confirmation that the good start with the Hungarian shooting has been pegged back. 63% success rate for Russia, 68% on the Hungarians, and the field throws 72% apiece. But plenty of fast breaks, 4 for Russia and 3 for the Hungarians. Gergo Ivanchik, that it was 6 from 6, is the best scorer in the game, while Moksai and Rasvortsev have 4 goals apiece in what has been a frenetic first half, and there's just continuous scoring all the way through with very few breaks. What do you expect with 38 goals? 3 fast breaks, 1 penalty, and a fairly good smattering of goals from everywhere. And the same with Russia, with just the right back position looking a little bit barren there, and 4 fast breaks. So at half-time here, with that last-minute shot by Rasvortsev, it's 19-all at the Spens Arena. We'll take a short break, but join us again for the second half. We'll see you then.